Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to our new subscribers, lovely to see you. And welcome to our long-term subscribers, it's lovely to see you too. And welcome to anybody who's drifting by, whether you're a subscriber or not. If you've enjoyed this video by the end, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell. All of these interactions are free. Please feel free to add any comments, that would be lovely. I read every single one and respond to them all. So we're going to carry on with our die project. This is project number 3. And this time we're going to be using oval dies, but we're going to be cheating because in my group that I run locally, one of my ladies who's very new, I've got a group of ladies who are very new to crafting, and they've got all these lovely dies. They've gone mad and they've brought all these lovely dies, and they said, can we make an easel card with oval dies? You can. Doing it with just an oval die can prove a bit tricky, especially for beginners. So this is a beginner's, but it's really for anybody, but especially those who perhaps have never made an oval die or never an oval die easel card. That's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Let's call it an oval easel card, but we're cheating. So anyway, this is going to be a 6x4 by the time we're done. And so I've got a 6x4, but I've folded it at the top, which is unusual for me. But for an easel card, that's what we need to do. And then all you need to do, once you've got it folded out, you start off the usual way, and you just give that a score. So you take the top, what would be the top part, and you fold it in half again. So you've got a score down the middle of one part, but you'll see how that works out later on. And now this is where we come to our ovals. I have got 2 ovals for the mat, 2 oval mats for the front or the base, and I've got the same 2 oval mats for the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our first one. I'm using my stitched ovals, but again, you use whatever you've got in your stash. And this first mat measures 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And I was going to use, oh, there it is. I was going to say, where's my glue? We've decided with I've had a few conversations since my last video with the manufacturers. We're going to call this tacky glue. So eventually, oh, that was the glue bottle, not me. So yeah, we are going to call this tacky glue because the components, or most of them anyway, are consistent with the tacky glue. Apart from the 2 extra ones, which one of them we've still got to modify. So we're not quite there yet, but almost, but enough to be able to use my sample. So I'm still so excited about that. So we're going to lay that down there. And as always, all of these measurements will be in the description box under the video. Just click on the word more and they'll all come up for you. So we're going to put that down like that. So you've still got a bit of time, although this sticks super quick, you've still got a little bit of time to mess about with it or to get it into place. So there we go. And once that's completely dry, I will brush that off. I'm using gold card, but again, use whatever you want to. And I'm using a pink mat this time, and my second mat is 2.5 by 4.5 inches, that is. And again, I'm going to be using my tacky glue. So, which I need to get another. I have actually got a box of these samples, which are just still at the sample stage. But I need to get another one out because this one's just about had it. I've used so much of it. That's why it won't stand up, because it's nearly empty. So I'm going to lie that down like that. Slide it in the middle. And if you wanted to, you could put a patterned or a coloured card on the base or make it with coloured cards, but I decided not to do that. I thought we'd stick with white, especially for those who are new. It will make it easier to see how everything goes together and what goes where. And there's plenty of room on the back to write your own message. So now we're going to make the easel part. So we're going to actually use the dies to make that. So the same, again, to recap, we've got 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And our second mat is 2.5 by 4.5. And again, we're going to do exactly what we did just now. Exactly the same process. Make sure you can still see, that's always a good idea. So we're going to squiggle some glue out. I'm absolutely loving this glue, I really am. So we're going to take some glue out, or squeeze some glue out. And for the next video, I will get, if I use that type of glue again, I don't know what I'm doing yet, so, or for the next one, I don't know what the project will be. So if I use that type of glue again, I will get a new one out, because that one's just about had it, well, very nearly anyway. So we'll just hold that down while we're chatting away, and there we go. And then before we actually stick that, we'll leave that there for a second. But before we put that on, what we are going to do, we're going to decorate it. Now, in my flower caddy, which I made ages ago, I've still got tons and tons of flowers. These ones I didn't make, actually, I brought them. And on the back, I've got a little square of foam tape, or foam pad, I beg your pardon, on the back of each one. So we're going to put one there. I've actually got 6 here. I don't know whether I'm going to use all 6 because they're a bit big. But what I could do is just overlap them more than I'd intended to do. So do you know what? I don't think I am going to use all 6, otherwise we're going to cover that. Now that will dry. So I have got 3 more here, which I might not use. So I'm going to leave them like that. And I'm going to leave that bit like that because we have a sentiment which says, today is your day. Now that could be for anything. That could be for a birthday. It could be for Mother's Day. It could be for almost any occasion. So today is your day. And I found that in my stash. It might be a good idea if we put it on the right way around. Always a good idea. So, and again, I've got foam pads on the back of that. So we're going to stick that down like that. Today is your day. And these other 3 I'm going to put out of the way because they've got foam tape on the back. Well, they've got foam pads on the back, I should say. And they're still sticky. Do you know what? I'm going to put them straight in the bin next to me. Otherwise, they're going to stick everywhere and we're going to get into an awful lot of trouble. So anyway, back to the card. So let's bring that back into the centre because now what we're going to do, we're going to make the easel part. Now what we need to do for this one, if you've again, especially if you've never used an easel card before or never made one, only put glue on that bit. Don't bring it down and think, oh, I'll put it there, because you might, especially if you're new, you might end up putting glue on there and then you'll just end up with a flat card. Now if you do want a flat card, if you've decided, actually, do you know what, I don't want an easel card, although by the time you've done that bit, you could do, if you just, actually, I don't want that, you could just stick that on there like that. But we're actually going to make an easel card and I'll show you what we're going to use for the stop in a minute. So, because all easel cards need a stop because otherwise it will just fall flat. I'm just going to put that on there. I know that will be greater than the distance of the oval, but it will dry clear. So just stick it down like that. This extra glue you can just wipe off because it will dry clear. In fact, it'll make it extra strong. So just hold it, once you've got it in place, if you do splodge out glue like I've just done, just hold it down and smooth. If you're really worried about it, as I say, it will dry clear, but if you're really worried about it, just hold it down and just give it a bit of a wipe. Now, what I'm going to do, I've got some wipes, water-based wipes here. And what I'm going to do, I would have used, normally I use kitchen towel, but I haven't got any with me. So just wrap a bit around your finger, if you're really worried, and just dust it off like that, and you'll still get that lovely shine, especially if you're using mirror card. It won't dull it eventually. Once it's dry, it will be fine. But if you don't like seeing that splodge, just take a kitchen towel or a wet wipe and wipe it off. No problem at all. So let's just move that out of the way. Now, the only thing we need to do now is you make a stop. Now, I haven't actually made a stop. I've got a rather textural flower. This is a lovely rustic sunflower. And again, I've got a piece of foam tape, foam pad on the back. And we just need to work out where we want our stop. That's actually quite heavy because those flowers are quite heavy. So I think I'll put it roughly there, not quite central, but do you know what? It's not far off. It is more or less central. That will sit like that. If you want to, you can just tuck it like that and that will sit beautifully. Oops. Yeah. Once you rock it back, obviously it will fall flat. Now, if you really wanted to be extra fussy, I'm not going to be, you could cut around that bit so that you've got no white cardstock showing, but I'm quite happy with that. So that's going to sit there like that. Now, if I rock it back, it's going to fall back, so I'll hold it back. So there we go. There is our easel card, a very easy oval easel card. Easy oval easel card. Oh my goodness, I'll never be able to say. Anyway, oval card for beginners or something like. Anyway, it's a simple oval card. How about that? So I'll work out what it's going to say when I put it up on when I upload it. So this is our oval easel card, which isn't as easy to say as I thought it might be. And it's very pretty. You can decorate put some smaller flowers perhaps at the bottom if you wanted to. You could put some gems. As I say, you could have used pattern paper. You could make this as simple or as decorative as you like. And there's plenty of room on the back. So there you go, guys. There is our project for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I will be back now next Tuesday with another project for you. Another die. It'll be the final one in our die series, and then we'll be moving on to other things. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.